Radiant team pick.
Sand King.
Alliance's turn to pick.
Bristleback!
Beastmaster.
Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Razor.
Alliance's turn to ban. Radiant team ban. Alliance's turn to ban. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Dazzle.
Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Witch Doctor!
Alliance's turn to pick.
Slaughter.
Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Puck!
Alliances turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Radiant team ban. Radiant team pick.
Tegna.
Alliances turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Sniper!
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
They have very beefy heroes, the Bristleback, the Slardar, and the Beastmaster, and you've got a heal on top of that, then yeah, I'm definitely favoring the Alliance draft here.
Alright, well, Alliance, the team with more to lose, as 4 Protect 5 are all but eliminated. Even if they win out, are pretty much like
Prepare for
would have to
battle.
pray for everything else to conspire in their favor. Alliance still masters of their own fate, coming down the home stretch on the potential road to the International 2017. So, a lot on the line.
Yeah.
I think I'm also favoring Alliance. It seems like a much easier to execute lineup. They're great at taking Roche. They're great at clearing Ancients. Their lanes are maybe the one area where you could be concerned, but they have Bristleback, and this hero alone just commands so much attention that I think just there it kind of stabilizes things. Sniper is going to fare pretty well in his lane, and as far as supports go, Dazzle can help shore up blades, and sure, there's not too much chain feeding, so I'm liking Alliance at pretty much every phase of the game. Maybe they struggle a little bit in some of the lane matchups, but
I mean, even the laning phase, like, all these heroes are not only solid laners, but they're great at being able to counter-initiate. So if Sniper does start getting sieged upon underneath his tower, getting dove, most one positions don't want to have to show up to save a mid. Bristleback, he will gladly show up. He's like, oh, you guys are grouping together as 5? That's great. More opportunity for me to get a bunch of quill sprays off on you guys. So I imagine that there's going to be a lot of TP scrolls on the side of Alliance.
Now look at this from 4 Protect 5. Big dive onto Handskin. They're going to find that Dazzler. They get the static link. He does have the skill point available. Opts not to skill anything. Could have gone for the Grave and delayed the inevitable, but likely would have gone down in the end. So a kind of a delayed smoke play. We've seen a few of these more recently, Tsunami, where teams will like kind of chill at their base or hang back, and then they'll just randomly smoke an enemy woods right before the bounty run spawns. Sometimes could catch you off guard.
Yeah, especially they weren't really prepared on that high ground. Sometimes you'll be able to pop the smoke, but that wasn't the case here.
So it's going to be the Pugna versus Sniper matchup mid. Really not a fun lane for Pugna. It's tough to Nether Blast Sniper if he doesn't want to allow you to. He can sit very far back. He can trade effectively with auto attacks, and those pesky headshots really make it hard to go blow for blow.
And even defensively, decrepifying isn't really an option because Shrapnel is a substantial amount of magic damage plus the slow, and looks like Pablo might want to make moves on this Pugna mid.
Maybe trying for a little Courier snipe here. He does have the boots, but Courier is not yet ferried the salve out.
Might just dive this.
Oh, they might just dive for the kill, yeah. Limp is tanking tower. And they are going to get this Burrow Strike off onto Pablo, but Creep Wave is not cooperating. The defensive Decrepify has to be used here as Limp continues to get these auto attacks in. Going to deny range creeps. He might get a double range creep deny. That is a big advantage at this stage of the game. With that TP forced out, well, it's going to limit the aggression up in this top lane a little bit. Aaron not having the easiest time against the static link, but
that's only for now. Razor, I mean, Bristleback does usually have that famous counter of Razor just because you can't goo him constantly. But you've got a Boar on Beastmaster that's going to be a factor later on. You've got the Slardar Crush that'll help kite, so it won't even be that big of a deal to get purged repeatedly.
Yeah, and of course, some melee carries just get completely shut down by Static Link, but for Bristle, you still have Quills, so still dish out some damage regardless. This bottom lane, Beastmaster is having a grand old time against Puck.
Yeah, Beastmaster is not a hero we've been seeing very frequently, and that was the one thing that maybe had me a little bit skeptical about the strength of what Alliance's draft was bringing, just because, I mean, we saw them run that Pugna that is somewhat unconventional previously, wasn't really able to do much with it. Beastmaster is a pretty easy hero to execute, there's no real way to play it poorly, but if he's having a good time in lane, then I imagine that Jonas is going to be able to translate that into a good mid and late game.
They're trying to set up here bottom. Pablo moving in. If that Puck throws the orb out to farm, could be in danger. No, he saw the Slardar though, so.
Slardar's kind of struggling to find something to do. It was initially a good idea to go on the Pugna mid, but too quick of a TP rotation from the Sand King.
Meanwhile, looks like E-Skill's turn to make a play on mid. That's the more realistic kill. Get the sniper this far forward.
He has 2 shrapnel charges though, and Pugna is not a tanky hero.
Get the Decrep off. The blast comes through as well. They do have that point in no point in caustic, so just the sandstorm probably not going to be good enough. Slash Strike at least gets some good chip harass out of that.
And then well played by Limp to play it safe and go north as opposed to go back into his river. Pablo did have to TP, but this is the name of the game for these 2 heroes. Slardar and Sand King fill very, very similar roles, have very, very similar play styles. Static Link on the top lane.
Yeah, they're kind of making the Bristleback's life uncomfortable for now, but the thing is, you can always just stack Ancients, look to catch up. Though Pablo is going to miss his Ancient stack timing here. That's not ideal.
Yeah, it's much more important for Razor to get a solid laning phase than it is for Bristleback. Bristleback needs minimal items, and oftentimes when you're underfarmed as a Bristleback, the enemy will underestimate you, and they're like, oh, this guy, all he has is like a Vanguard, of course we can kill him, and then you proceed to get triple killed passively. So it's kind of difficult to really know the power curves of a Bristleback.
Oh, E-Skills is scouted out here. Good Observer Ward got planted down. So a very kind of passive landing stage here. A lot of lane swaps, a lot of movement, but not a lot of action thus far.
No, just 1 kill so far, but if it's down to passive lanes, I definitely favor Alliance in that. Oh, never mind. Static Link.
Hanskin has the TP, has the Grave.
Yeah, I don't know why he didn't TP earlier, but okay. Uses the Grave anyway.
I guess he wastes some of the Razor's time.
Yeah, but he has 112 damage right now, so he could actually like whack away at Era, but Era's gonna play it safe.
Era's really not having a fun laning
And
phase.
Sniper's not having a fun laning phase either right now. E-Skills goes in.
Well, Pablo's on the hunt here. He wanted a piece of that Sand King. Maybe wants a piece of Slash Strike. Gets the crush off.
No shrapnel charges
No
though.
shrapnel. And the blast is always a threat.
Yeah, this Radiant High Ground ward. I don't know when that Sand King managed to place it, but that's super value.
I guess it was when he came around from behind mid.
Yeah.
Time
Actually,
leash.
it's looking pretty fresh though, so yeah, I don't know. But... Poor Era. You're not often on the losing end of a lane as a bristleback.
Yeah, I mean, I think Alliance are the team that can afford to lose the lanes, though. Like, obviously it's not ideal, but they're a pretty good comeback lineup. They can take Roche well, they can farm Ancients well, they scale better into late game. It's much more... For Protect 5 have to win these lanes. Pops out the axes, the coil committed, Yonasan Plan is going to go down. Not your first blood, but your first kill. And meanwhile, up top, they do find the Razor. 5 caught out, and this is a big takedown. Looks like he should drop here momentarily, as does it the Phase Boots. He's quite annoying, quite fast, has the teleport scroll, but the quills will follow you to the ends of the earth and then beyond. Doesn't end up dropping.
Yeah, it's a much higher value target than the offlane Beastmaster, especially because no big ultimates were used. The Puck had to use the Dream Coil to finally secure that kill. E-Skills had a good rotation, but Beastmaster's a tanky target, especially because he has those raindrops as well. So not really the easiest finish, whereas Razor much easier and definitely gets Bristleback back into the game.
4 Protect 5, gonna rotate the Razor down.
Oh, mid lane, Life Drain onto Slardar.
Ooh, nice play.
I imagine that he must have continued to be spotted out by these high ground Radiant wards, because E-Skills always just seems to be in the right place at the right time. The Sand King is doing so much work right now.
Slardar, not so much.
Yeah, no. In fact, he might... Oh, man.
Oh, he
failed
TP's
smoke.
in, insta-smokes. It is nighttime, so I don't think he actually had vision of E-Skills. Assassinate is available, but Pugnet playing the bully. Well done by Slash Strike, though. They still might get E-Skills on the way out. Pugnet would be the ideal kill, but in comes the Pug from behind. The Graves there to counter it. Limp has to get this Assassinate off. It doesn't look like it's going to happen. He tries to salve up. He looks for the Pug. Oh, he will get it. Slash Strike makes it out. Hanskin, big save for him. Almost a complete train wreck of a fight for Alliance, but it is salvaged.
Yeah, salvaged in a big way. I can't believe that Puck managed to find that timing and positioning to be able to pull that off, but Hanskin coming in the right place in the right time and was either not silenced out by Puck or was maybe on cooldown or something, but whatever the case, that Grave was critical and Limp manages to survive that cage fight at 10 HP each.
So they look for more. Beastmaster Roars online. I imagine we're probably going to see Yonasan Fan get active soon. He is going back for the Quelling Blade now, so looks like he wants to focus a little more on farming. Perhaps not then, I guess? Or have they been stacking Ancients, the other question. No Ancient stacks bottom, just Hanskin kind of jerking the neutrals around right now, but
yeah,
to have no Ancient stacks in 9 minutes with this lineup.
Era, Dream Coil, top lane,
Pretty
Maledict. He's
Those
still
quills,
so
though.
hard to kill. He turned, kind of.
Yeah, did turn to face them. Was likely going down anyway with the Maledict. But
And Era, like, I'm surprised he didn't show up to that mid-rotation, because that's what I was saying earlier on, is that Bristleback loves being able to counter-initiate. You don't need that many items. He has a Soul Ring, so that gives him enough mana for at least a few Quill Sprays, but he didn't have a TP, and he's just kind of passively not even farming in the top lane, but just sitting in the top lane. And if it's this bad, you'd think that a lane swap may be in order, but he just keeps returning over and over to his top lane.
and it's not like there's comeback gold really right now. There's a small, big stack here to work with, but these are not nearly the same as those ancient stacks.
No.
With a Dazzle, you can generally do them pretty early. Alliance, I mean, feel like they can come back pretty well from bad lady stage, but this is quite poor. And there's a coil coming soon.
All the big creeps are still alive. Puck comes in, he's like, oh, how convenient.
Yeah, does miss there on the orb. He still dies for this, has the coil ready. Ataka not activated, just said he gets the 2-hero coil. Razor committing forward. They really want to get the scrape off. They're not going to. The silence was timed right. 5, though, has to be careful. Limp is laying into him. Chewing through the Razor. Assassinate already on cooldown, though. Not going to be able to kill him off. And the heal of Dancing Dragon actually allows him to escape successfully. They're going to look for the Shrine. We'll be tapping that momentarily. Still no sign of the Beastmaster getting involved. Yosun fan just off farming. It's just Alliance not really wanting to help each other. They all just want to farm. They kind of want to just stick in their lanes. And
half of them want to help. The other
4
half
protect
are like,
5 just want to fight.
Crush. And then big Decrep Nether Blast.
If they don't want to help each other, they should probably just not be taking these fights, cut their losses, but a lot of time wasted with heroes. Some heroes rotating, others running away, some farming. It's kind of a not on the same page this game.
Yeah, it definitely feels that way. And meanwhile, 4 Protect 5 looking, well, honestly, really damn good, all things considered. This is a team that, I guess, even me, I was kind of counting out. And this draft, I was kind of counting out. But this Pugna is the Pugna that I want to see from last game. Slash Strike is being incredibly effective all across the map. He's showing up to ganks, he's creating ganks, and that's the power of a mid Pugna. You get such a high lead that you can kind of weigh out the disadvantages of having, you know, low HP, kind of having some mana issues. He's hit level 10. I don't... 8, 9, 10? Oh, he actually did not go for his mana regen talent. I don't know if he will, but it's such a big spike generally for Pugnas, but then again, I don't really play that much mid Pugna. It might not be as high value there.
Most of the Pugnas I've seen today, I think both of them went for the health talent.
Yeah. Well, were they both mid as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Pugna anywhere except mid.
Yeah.
Could be an opening. They get the roar bottom lane. Looking for the lockdown here on the puck. The stun comes through. Kill secured. Huge for Alliance. They desperately needed that. And the puck blink dagger is delayed. About 900 gold still to go on that.
And another potential Dream Coil initiation also being shut down while the puck is dead. Buys Era some time to farm, buys Limp on the Sniper some time to farm. And Alliance need to start getting some items up and running, and since they don't have very many stacks or anything like that, Bristleback's still struggling. He does have that Vanguard nearly completed, but it's pretty late timing for Bristleback.
A fight's brewing top. Slash Strike is going to take that tower down with the Nether Blast, but they got the Slardar into position. Juking away as E-Skills was fishing for the burrow. Some fan with the Iron Talon and now the Medallion complete. Just continuing to farm, rotate camp to camp. For the most part, Alliance content to dodge fights and play fairly passively, but Kaka able to find the opening here mid with the coil getting snapped instantly. The Sand King teleport not nearly in time. So a slight missed opportunity there.
Yeah, that was a really hasty initiation by the puck, because that's a pretty easy kill. You don't know where the rest of the Dire team is, because they don't really have that much aggressive vision inside the Dire jungle. But still, like, then why go for the play if there's no follow-up?
Yeah, he barely was in coil range to begin with, and if you don't have anyone else there, you're not getting that kill. So, it's a relatively low cooldown, but at least Alliance are feeling a little safer to farm in the meanwhile. They have brought Limp down bottom. Maelstrom will be the choice for him as his first big item.
And this is going to be a big defense if the Radiant team does choose to push it, because Era has now completed that Vanguard. He will hopefully now feel very confident in going in for counterplays, or hell, even initiation if Alliance is able to find something to roar, which so far Jonas and Pham is not going for anything like a Blink Dagger. He's instead opting for a first Solar Crest item, but it'll be valuable no matter what.
Big dive bottom, they're going to roar 5. Do they really want to commit on the Razor though? The defensive Decrepify is going to shut this down really easily. Now E-Skills comes into position, chasing forward as the Sand King, and Alliance forced to disengage. This is not a great lineup at killing Razor at this stage. Like a farm sniper can maybe do it, but so much single target and just that Razor passive can prove a huge nuisance if they try to focus him down.
That and defensive Decrep, all of Alliance are pretty reliant on their physical damage.
Not to mention he's gone for raindrops, he has Blade Mail, like he is itemizing to just be an absolute bitch to bring down.
Well, we'll see how this tower defense goes. Razor's still full HP.
They're gonna try to fight this, but Slardar just goes splat at Akaka there with a nice pickoff. However, now he needs to be careful. The Dazzle Weave comes through, the Corrosive Haze there as well. He is sitting at like -7 armor and counting, but the lockdown, that's a bit lacking. With no blink on the Slardar and the Roar on cooldown, they cannot corral the puck.
And same thing with 0 points on Goo as well. This guy has...
Oh, that cask! Woo!
Underscape.
And that was very unfortunate. The treasonous boar turns out to be a turncoat.
Witch Doctor is super irritating to have to deal with as a Beastmaster. You spawn a boar, and then all of a sudden you have provided a target for a cask. You spawn a hawk, and all of a sudden the cask bounces off into the distance and finishes off a pretty high bounty value summon. So I think they've learned their lesson. Alliance is no longer going to defend this tier 1. They will let this Pugna have its fun. And another ward is dropped, but it's not going to find any usage.
It does open up some access here for Protect 5 to the Dire Ancients, though, so can be looking to contest Era a bit more. Who's still doing okay as far as net worth goes. I mean, they've done a pretty poor job of stacking. I think there was one triple stack which he cleared, but still he's managed to claw his way back into the game. Alliance are going to slow things down now. They want to get that Pablo Blink, about 900 gold until we'll have it. Era hood complete now. And just going to play it passively with the Maelstrom now on Lip. Alliance are, as they often seem to be, just in kind of dodge fights, farm mode.
Yeah, and we'll see if maybe they want to go for an Aegis and that Pablo is Maledict to dead Witch Doctor.
Man, when Sniper hits one of those headshots, it's just absolutely devastating with the amplify damage.
Yeah, and the shrapnel on top of that. That Witch Doctor had like 10 move speed. We'll see now how many openings or how many picks it'll take for Alliance to feel confident going into the pit, because I think that's going to be the next big opening for mainly the Bristleback, namely because he's built so heavily defensively, which, I mean, this is pretty standard of fare for a Bristleback hood plus Vanguard. But you toss an Aegis on top of that, and all of a sudden, towers that are usually pretty easy to defend for a Pugna suddenly seem far more intimidating.
You know, some fun just farming up a Storm in the meanwhile. He is getting close to the Blink. And once his Blink comes out, once the Slardar gets his Blink, we're going to see a very different style from Alliance. I think that's where they'll be looking for pickoffs. They may try to find one, transition straight into a Roche fight. So for Protect 5, the window to take advantage is starting to close a little bit, but as I say that kill will help. They take the Slardar down when he was so close to his Blink Dagger. So a dream deferred for him now.
Yeah, and I guess they're going to start planting some aggressive wards because they don't want Alliance to be able to take that Roche. They know that that is a threat on 4 Protect 5, so continue the push and continue dominating the Dire jungle with vision. Make sure you can get these reliable picks.
The thing that sucks for 4 Protect 5 though is like they can't parlay their lead into a Roche. Yeah. You know, they can only just deny it to Alliance.
Even if they win like a full 5-on-5 engagement, it still takes a while, and they would be much more interested in just taking structures, because Pugna, exceptional at taking down towers, pretty poor at taking down Roche.
This might be the worst Roche lineup I've seen in a while, but hold that thought is bottom lane Lib.
How about a kill lineup? How's that kill lineup?
The Veiled Decrep Blast Aether Lens combo is just dirty from Slash Strike. Sniper has how much health? 1,000 health? He lost 1,000 health in about like a second
DPS,
there.
pretty much.
Yeah, about 1,000 damage per second from this Pugna. Not too shabby. Alright, so now I think we're seeing finally like the idea of the carry Pugna when it's executed
right
in the dream scenario.
Yeah, he's got that Aether Lens, he's making use of it, he has the Veil completed, and previously Limp had gone for a BKB afterwards, which made sense. There was a lot of channel breakers on the enemy team, but this game, Slash Strike has Aghanim Scepter on the mind, and that definitely seems like the right call, because it not only provides that 0 cooldown, but really you only have to be concerned about the Slardar. It's unlikely that Beastmaster will be roaring you, because Razor is going to be a larger target.
Alliance want this double damage rune, and well, they're not gonna get it, but they are gonna get the Pugna. Slash Strike down.
Yeah, you'll take that roar.
Big pick. A lot of gold for them. About 1,000 swing just off that one kill.
Radiant Courier.
They're in trouble, but the Courier is creating space for this Witch Doctor to survive. So they continue their chase. Jonas and Fan gonna have a blink soon.
Oh!
One more swing.
Didn't have a boar.
Oh, he gets completely blocked out by these creeps. And now Atakaka coming in, committed to the coil. It's going to back up in the form of the Razor, who's quite farmed now with the Blade Mail as well as the Sanj complete. Chewing through Jonas and Fun. Finding the follow-up kill. Atakaka going for a second. And it's Hanskin who's forced to TP out. No way to cancel this. He'll make it back to safety.
Yeah.
Era also limping towards home.
That was well played by the puck. He Yulesed up the Dazzle so that no chance for a Shallow Grave would come out on the Beastmaster. One of the heroes was going to survive, the other one was going to go down. And yeah, it would have been ideally in Alliance's best interest to have the Dazzle die, but well, too well played by Atakaka.
So Alliance, again, still not really able to execute their idea this game, which was to get those 2 Blink Daggers, run around the map finding pickoffs, farm some stacks with the Bristleback, parlay that into a Roshan kill, but well, they'll take this freebie. Dancing Dragon just waltzes into certain doom. And you got to be careful if you're 4 Protect 5. If that happens near the Roshan pit, all of a sudden it's probably just straight in, and you'll have to either buy back or fight the Rosh down a hero.
Yeah, they're not really pressing this advantage too much. It's not a substantial advantage. They have 3 skills. Gets roared, he gets axed up, decrepified, getting life drained in though.
Oh, this Pugna doing so much work. Slash Strike there with the save again. Pablo has to be graved as he retreats in 5. Lunges into position, the coils, well placed. No crush follow-up, and now the goo onto 5. Can they chase this Razor out? Huge damage potentially could be done here by Era. Really wants to bring that Razor down, keeps the goo going, but he also gets slowed and turned, denied by the cast, denied by the Maledict, shut down by Dancing Dragon, who chases forward. Atakaka looking for Limp, the TP out, the heal bomb is there, but Atakaka still playing fearlessly as this puck, always in the front lines, always chasing for more. Continues to plink away on Hanskin. Yules is there, cancels that TP, and is going to find Hanskin on the way down. Plink, slink, plink, silence. A little more damage, one more blast. Finally, they get the kill.
Jonas and Fan wants something though, but E-skills maybe
he could
the only
maybe
thing.
get him with an auto attack into an Axis.
Oh,
doesn't have the damage.
These defensive decrepifies have been amazing. They kept Razor alive when he should have almost certainly been dead.
This is a Pugna clinic.
Yeah, for sure.
And they might just get more. Alliance starting to crumble here.
Maledict.
As Atakaka finds the opening. Coil has cooled down. It's just relentless aggression for Protect 5. Not letting them find their footing. They chase for more. Locking onto Era. He tries to turn one way. Tries to turn the other. Limp does take down E-skills, but the trade is Mr. Era. Bristle has been defeated. And now Jonas and Fan has to run. Blinks away. Has the teleport scroll available. Is going to grab a bounty run. Keeps on marching south. The saving grace for Alliance is 4 Protect 5 are just so bad at roshing.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
But who needs Rosh when you can just take towers? Actually, Dire ends up passively taking a tower with creeps, but Pugna is...
He's halfway to a negative scepter at
this
this point. This guy is a beast.
He's not even the highest net worth, but it feels so high because you never really see a Pugna this far ahead at this stage of the game. I mean, he's the same net worth as Sniper. It doesn't feel like they're having the same influence on the game by any means.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how much work he can do with this Aghanim Scepter, though, because it's unlikely that Alliance are going to itemize for this Pugna. It's more in your best interest to itemize for the Razor, and so Era is going for this Lotus Orb. It's going to help out with Static Link. Does not really help out with Life Drain, unless if you stand still, because that's the way that it works against channel spells, and you never can really time it because you don't know what the Life Drain is. You notice sometimes it's really deep down here.
Space created, I guess. Pablo comes through. The coil to counter Pablo, though. And now trying for the TP out the grave. Denied by the Yules. Slardar going to go down. They might even get more. They're going to Burrow Strike, connect on Hanskin. A third kill almost guaranteed. And this is happening while their team's pushing top. In the meanwhile, 4 Protect 5, finding 3 kills in a 3v3. And now finding damage on the tower with the remaining 2 heroes. Alliance look to strike back. Slash Strike would be a delicious prize, but also a very deceptively difficult to acquire one. He will just walk away, stays alive, and they continue to have their cake eaten too, now up to a 7,000 gold lead. I mean, Alliance is just losing control of this game, like taking fights that are very difficult to execute, not really stacking well for the Bristleback. He's starting to slip as far as net worth goes. Their lineup is really one that means to play like from translating pickoffs into objectives, and we're not seeing those pickoffs. We're seeing deaths and Alliance constantly down a hero.
At the bare minimum, I suppose at least Sniper is staying relatively well protected. He's managed to cling on to a second place net worth score, but it's going to take more than just the Sniper, because the Sniper is reliant on the solidifying on the net worth as now a Witch Doctor.
They do find Dancing Dragon, but the Decrepit by the heal! Medical assistance from Afar, Slash Strike with the clutch save. Now Era chasing it, and 5 there to answer back. The Epicenter winds up. Wiz gonna find one, almost takes down Pablo as well. Eastbell's forced to turn tail, will run. And meanwhile, Era does get controlled a bit. They want to chase him down, no coil. They can blink Yules in 10. 5 is gonna have that static link available soon, and Era has no teleport scroll. While he's tanky, he's also got a long journey to make it home. The Burrow Strike starts to shut him down. He turns one way, but Dancing Dragon is there with the Maledict. With the Decrepify, Era is looking awful mortal. Those quills are not enough. 5 lashes him with lightning, and down he will go again. Least scary Bristle I've seen in a long time, between the Maledict, between the Veil, you know, even things like Blade Mail, Static Link, they seem to have tools for Bristle.
Yeah, he looks mortal, which is a tall order to say against a Bristleback, but that's what happens when you get such an early substantial lead. It's maybe some signs of life in the fact. Oh, nope, Dazzle getting silenced, getting Dream Coil. I mean, honestly, I have no issue with him spending that Dream Coil just on that. He has the Yules to break the TP if he needs to, or just kill him when he lands. Pop.
Dire's middle tower.
And now I think you finally can take Rosh's for Protect 5. It's still not the best lineup, but again, you have so much vision, you have so much map control, you have so much farm. You have an 11k net worth advantage. It's 21-8 at 27 minutes in the game.
It's slow and it's painful, but I think at this point you're right. It's definitely possible. So, Protect 5 continue to show up here. I mean, at least an outside chance of making it into the playoffs and fighting tooth, claw, and nail to get there. Meanwhile, Alliance just look totally unsure of how they want to play this game out. You see, like, Sniper just wants to sit back and farm. Other heroes, like the Beastmaster and Slaughter, really want to force fights. Bristleback has kind of just been coming late to fights and then forced to run away last minute, and then gets punished for it, whereas for Protect 5, like a very clear vision of how the game will flow and where they want to be staking their claim to objectives.
Yeah, for Protect 5's game plan is, hey, Puck found someone to Dream Coil, let's all pile on them and kill them. And things start going bad, don't worry, we've got heals, we've got defensive maneuvers, we've got Decrepify, we've got Healing Ward, we've got Life Drain, and we also have a mega tanky Razor.
Speaking of which, 5 is very close to an Assault Cuirass, and that will make the roast quite a bit easier.
And Aghanim Scepter completed on Slash Strike's Pugna as well.
Oh my.
And he's almost level 18. So, 300 damage drain per second.
No, then you're going to have the Veil increase magic damage of 25%. You're going to have the 60% enemy increase. So you have 85% increased magic damage. So, you know, when you factor in hero resistance, you're still looking at, what, 60% increased net? If I'm doing the math correctly. Then you have the Maledict you can throw on top of that for, you know, even more additional burst damage. And we already saw Pugna earlier was doing about 1,000 DPS just from Decrepify Veil, and I think it was the level 1 life drain. Yep. So level 3 Aghanim's life drain, I mean, he might be doing close to 2,000 damage per second by that point.
If only he had that Lion 25 talent. There's the AoE mana drains instead of the AoE life drains.
Just modded, or life drain their entire team.
Yeah, there you go. Everyone feed me your energy.
There you go.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, and Alliance are too scared now. They're grouping up as 5 the whole way, and 4 Protect 5 see it all. They've got wards peppered out throughout the dire jungle. Limp is walking almost certainly into death. 4 staff away.
Yeah, but they still see him. Or rather, they're about to.
Yeah, but Puck's in the bot lane, and Puck seems to be the primary initiator. Everyone else is... If Puck's not here, if we don't have a Dream Coil, then just drop it.
Well, to your point, I love the fact that he's gone for the Boots of Travel,
yeah,
as he can pretty much be everywhere.
Dude is basically an Ember Spirit right now.
Yes, with an AoE teamfight lockdown ability. Not too shabby.
Era. I guess, I mean, it makes sense that 4 Protect 5 are playing so safe because, like we've mentioned time and time again, if they botch one fight, it turns into a Roche, it turns into a lot of gold because they will follow up with towers on the side of Alliance, so I'm... Oh.
Well, they do find E-skills, Assassinate, and that brings them down to about half HP, but 5 is already in there. Era tried to get off the Lotus Orb, but Razor a bit too quick on the draw, so easy 126 damage for him.
Slash Strike, once again, gives him a med kit.
Nice. They do have good pick-off potential here. The pop, oh, that's a bold Slardar. You jump in, that Pugna just deletes you.
Yeah, they don't really even have the best vision to make these kinds of maneuvers on Alliance. And I'm surprised that they feel so confident still lingering around in their jungle, but 4 Protect 5 are really not wanting to mess this lead up.
Do you... I mean, honestly, like, when I looked at the drafts, like, Alliance scale is so much better, they can take this late game easier. I feel like they're so far behind that's not really true any longer.
No.
Like, Puck is gonna be level 25 soon. If he wants to start leveling up a Dagon, he can just destroy Sniper very easily.
Yeah, it's because Bristleback isn't Bristleback right now. This is some other strange strength hero that is able to tank up somewhat, but not really able to deal damage, and that's the primary issue, because Sniper is able to do Sniper things. He still has the initiation by the Beastmaster, he still has the Grave as backup, and he still has Slaughter running interference, but all of it hinges on Bristleback being a relevant damage-dealing force, and Pugna is just too large to even put that on the table right now.
Yeah, you look at this line, it's like the only thing resembling a Bristleback counter is really a Razor, but...
Yeah.
That Pugna is so far ahead, he kind of is the Bristleback counter.
Exactly.
Veil Aetherland's Eggs, the dream.
God, they want to do Roche so bad, but they just can't. Okay, well now they have the AC completed.
I can't recall the last time I've seen a team just be this far ahead for this long. Especially consistently and be like, we probably can't roast just yet.
Yeah, especially since the...
Finally, they're gonna try.
They've got the medallion. Especially since the cheese on the second Roche. Like, you've been seeing a lot more earlier Roches, but... I mean, you are respecting the lineup. I'm glad that they're not killing themselves trying to do it. They have all the map control in the world right now. This is a very safe engagement, so... Yeah, they can go for it now. And they've got Pug on the outside. If someone's getting low, you can heal them up.
Better late than never. Good position here by the Witch Doctor. Just barely able to heal them over the barrier of the Roche pit.
Oh, and he's doing the dismantling of the Shadow Amulet play, where you break your Glimmer Cave, sit around in Shadow Amulet, then put it back together.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's super irritating to have to go up against some heroes. Like, it's a very popular maneuver on Keeper of the Light, because you'll put it together, you'll start channeling a spell, and then you have a Glimmer Cave ready to go.
Especially on Witch Doctor with his ult.
Yeah, also true.
Could be very cute.
Alright, well that took like a solid minute and a half. But...
Meanwhile, if Alliance could get in the pit, even down 13k gold, they would probably kill it in, 15 seconds.
Yeah.
But they can't.
Now DD Rune on Razor. All the stars are aligning for 4 Protect 5. As long as Etakaka doesn't die in this bot lane.
They do make their move now, though. Well, think about it anyway. Alliance grouping up bottom, but they're getting nervous, Neil, and wise they are to be nervous. As 4 Protect 5 is hot on the scent.
Smoked up.
Will this conga line strike Pater?
I don't know, you need that Puck. Puck is the crux of this whole thing.
He's got the bots, but nothing to bots too right now.
Yeah. Too bad you can't like spawn another ward and have him come on to that. And for what it's worth, because of these BOTs, he's managed to almost hit level 25 at 35 minutes into the game. It's a great resource to have as a puck to be able to just get away with just farming passionately across the map and BOTing whenever you find a fight.
He's about to farm a lot more passionately as he's 23.5 now.
Yeah. 5. Got that Aegis. Slash Strike can suck with no regard for human life.
Well, he is a shamble of skeletons after all. So.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Well,
he makes a mockery of human life through his form alone.
Yeah, the undead. Biggest meme of all.
I think the biggest meme of all is 420 gold per minute. That's at least pretty high up my list.
3 tomes! 3 tomes straight out the gate, let's go!
Mm.
Poor Witch Doctor, he's like, I want my ulti to be more powerful.
Get wrecked.
Alright, let's see how smart he gets. I think he hits level 20. Oh, so close. 24 3/4.
Probably saves him a couple of minutes with that, so well worth it.
Are they really going to wait for it? I think they're going to wait for it. But then what? Do you wait for him to get Dagon 5 after that?
It doesn't take that long, to be honest.
But then what? Do you wait for moon shards on your Razor?
No, I mean, to be honest, like, even Dagon 1's still pretty decent. Like, you really just want to kill the Dazzle. You burst the Dazzle in any of these fights, and Alliance, or the Slardar maybe, and Alliance are going to crumble it. They're actually not going to wait at all. Here come 4 Protect 5, marching
they're so close
towards high ground. They throw that Lincoln's onto 5. Blasting. He's like a half creep away. Oh, juicy gold.
Dire structures are fortified.
Glyphused, the last Nether Blast, not going to get the kill on the tier 3. So no shrines quite yet. We'll see if he goes for the last blast. Of course he will.
Dire's
Done.
top tower
Alright,
is falling.
talent unlocked.
And that ward
Just look
immediately
how quickly his gold moves up.
Yeah, that's
clowny.
it's pure comedy. Every single time it reaches this point, and I'm like, look, Puck has 1K, Puck has 1.1K, Puck has 1.2K gold. All right.
You can't. By the time you get the gold out, it's already increased by about 100.
Yeah, well, it's Dagon o'clock, I suppose.
Yeah, new recipe every 3 minutes, and that's without hitting creeps. Easy peasy.
I am looking forward to seeing that combined with the Decrepify and the
So,
Veil. Oh,
they want the shrine. Slash Strike is gonna get caught up, and he holds the Aegis. You do not want to go on that Poga.
yeah, he's got one more solid minute left on that. If they want to go for the shrine again, they can. If they want to go for another siege, they can. Puck is in the area. Got Dagon 3. I mean, at a certain point, Bristleback does come back into the game.
I would love to see someone like whip out a calculator and figure out exactly how much damage the Puck level 5 Dagon does with the Pugna Veil, Decrepify, and Aether Lens in play as well.
It's basically a Rampage's worth of damage, I would say.
Well, 4 Protect 5. Just a little mistake by Alliance, and they're instantly there with the punish. They're going to kill off that Beastmaster.
And they take his gem as well.
Oh, that's really painful. Do they force the issue here? Looks like they are going to push.
Yeah, they've got like 10 seconds left on the Aegis, though. So I don't see this Pugna dying, to be honest, but I mean, if they're playing it safe this long, my god.
His back was turned.
Yeah.
Okay, then. Imagine if he's facing you.
Yeah, and they have some capability of pulling that off. This Sand King has a Force Staff, so if he goes for an offensive Force Staff immediately into a Burrow Strike, then Bristleback starts looking like paper.
Dazzle.
Well, 20k gold, Neil.
What does it take?
I think Alliance have to bank on like that 80 to 100 minute game at this point.
No.
It's gonna take a while anyway.
Don't say such things.
They do
Roar.
find the puck, though. Bottom lane with the roar, the crush,
Oh.
the axes, too. Man, they hurt. And that is a big kill. He's actually out for 100 seconds. Mega kill streak ended.
And he actually...
That's a 2K gold swing, practically, that one kill.
Yeah, and he spent his money on his Dagon recipes, so... Not going to have buyback, but that's nearly irrelevant.
Very, very difficult to resist the temptation.
Yeah, of course. You're like, whatever. Think of all the,
Radiant's middle
all
tower
the
is under attack.
potential gold I'm missing out on.
Spend that unreliable gold before it's too late.
One of the arguments that I found interesting is whenever people have supports and they're like, oh, do you go for the damage talent or do you go for the GPM talent? And one thing that people don't really consider is you get GPM passively when you're dead. You can see Puck's numbers are quietly climbing away, out-farming pretty much everyone on the map even though the Puck is dead. Whereas damage talents, that's only useful if you're alive.
Yeah, by the time he respawns, he'll, you know, have another
Radiant's
SP.
middle tower is under attack.
If he needs it. Actually, already has the second five,
Are
so.
fortified.
E-Blade coming next.
Yeah, almost certainly.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
He could go for a Lotus, I suppose. They've been dumping that Lincoln's on the Razor, but Pugna already has Lotus, so it might not be necessary to have two of them. It's just to make the Beastmaster just very skeptical about roaring anyone.
Alright, is there a point where Alliance just take over?
It's not up to them.
Like a key item or
Nah.
level?
Nah.
I mean, I kind of feel like it's just for Protect 5 have to throw, basically.
Yeah, it's not up to them if Alliance get back into this game. It's up to 4 Protect 5 if Alliance get back into this game. I would say the best, or the most plausible option of 4 Protect 5 letting them back into the game is if the Pugna overextends, which is a possibility, but I find it unlikely with how Slash Strike has been playing. He's been playing it very conservatively, even though he had such a healthy lead early on. You don't see him going for YOLO plays.
Era! This could be disastrous. They're gonna find the bristle. Epicenter gets laid into him. Now with the Malady coming through, the Dagon is there.
Wow, and Edakaka phase shifts
Phase shifts
Lotus
the
Dagon.
Lotus return. Nicely done. Wow. Would have been relatively okay anyway, but
Yeah.
just a little extra swag.
And then promptly TPs up to the top lane, make sure that creep wave can start following up. E-skills kills off the Hawk.
Would like to see them try to push a little bit, but unfortunately for Protect 5, these waves are not cooperating right now.
Yeah, Alliance, to their credit, are doing an exceptional job of making sure that they're not really ever stuck in their base. Even though they've been having no outer towers for like the past 20 minutes, they are, you know, farming their jungle, they're farming other lanes. It's not like they're paralyzed like some other teams might be.
For Protect 5, looking to move once more under the breach. But Alliance are
Roche
holding
is
the
up.
line for now. Yeah, I think it's one of the earlier possible Roshan respawns. Not 100% sure about that, but it seems on the faster end. His Limp gets Dagon, then he BKBs. Not the ideal scenario. He's going to turn around, try to get to work on 5, but with the Blade Mail, that is a tall order. Instead, we'll back away. Onus now on Alliance to engage, and they're gonna try as they TP Era in, but easy enough for 4 Protect 5 to just walk away, and with that Roshan on the horizon, they might consider going for it. Apparently not yet.
Do we need to put another tally on the Onus whiteboard now?
That was intentional. I was like, I haven't said Onus yet, you know. I didn't see any tallies on there.
I know.
Did
People
someone
have been
erase
avoiding
them, or?
it. Oh, I don't know. I haven't been over there. I would be getting my Onus on over there if I
Getting
was.
your Onus on.
Damn right.
That sounds like a very disturbing sexual practice, I'm not sure.
Or some sort of like heavy metal album or something.
Yeah. Enter the Onus.
Oh, Glyph has been spent. They still don't care about the Roche. After so much patient play, 4 Protect 5 are looking sick of this. We're massive.
Nice play, no reaction by 5, and now Edakaka going to work on Limp. Just brings him down to half health almost instantly. That Dagon 5 has a very low cooldown. Limp is going to have to back in about 5 seconds.
Whoa, Slash Strike. Alright.
Manly Pelta.
He'll take it. 1 rack's down. Maybe they'll go visit Roche. Courier might fly over it. Let's check it. An Alliance smoke up.
Infinity.
this is probably their best option at getting into the game.
Unfortunately, 4 Protect 5 have a great position here for E-Skills with an invis already. Breaks the smoke. He backs away. He... He burrows in, and then he jumps out, and now 5 engages, but it's uphill into a sniper. Not the ideal scenario, and pretty much the dream if you are that little dwarf. Alliance do stave off any counterplay. Now they get coiled, and as I say that, Limp BKB puts again after the Dagon, just a bit slow in the reaction, and it's costing him heavily. They're going to try to dive towards 5, but the Lotus Orb comes out as Pugna gets roared, gets controlled. Slash Strike, though, easily able to drain his way back towards health, and Yonasan fan into pain, facing and charging into this Pugna. He will crumble. They've lost 3. They're probably going to lose Era. Burrow is there, and the chase is on. Buyback force out on the sniper. That caustic, once it starts to tick in, could lead to additional
dueling
follow-up.
with the Witch Doctor.
Even the Witch Doctor is not afraid. As Etakaka sees the opening, he's going to flirt up the hill. He blinks to the right. Pablo squirms to the left. Looks like he'll make it out, but Roshan not going anywhere.
Yeah, they're going to shrine up and then promptly go back. Unfortunately, Roche just like healed all of that HP that Razor was quietly chipping away with, but you won the fight. E-Skills had amazing positioning to break that smoke. It was pretty telegraphed. Alliance know that that's their only play. 4 Protect 5 know that that's their only play, so... And now a double damage rune. Things are really all favoring 4 Protect 5 right now.
Yeah.
Pablo? What you doing, Pablo?
Maybe hoping for a desperation 8 to snatch, but that ain't gonna happen when Etakaka finds him. With the silence, the nukes, he'll get the kill, and E-Blade is ready to go.
There's no way Alliance are gonna challenge it yet again. And put the Aegis on 5, I imagine get the cheese to Slash Strike, and once again, just go for the siege. You'd think, oh, other way around, alright, fine. You'd think with how difficult it's been for 4 Protect 5 to siege that Razor would have opted for an Aghanim Scepter, but he's just conveniently skipped it. He hasn't even gone for a Dragon Lance either, so they realize that that's their shortcoming, but they'd rather double down on the survivability as opposed to kind of split the average with one hero being a good pusher.
And when you go tanky on Razor and you have a Pugna this farmed backing you up with a Witch Doctor, you're like, I don't know how you died once.
Yeah. And he's got Heart queued up next for this Razor as well.
Lol. But he's gonna be like at 4,000 health if he drops the phase boots. 4,000 health Razor getting an additional 300 health per second.
And with a Blade Mill on top of that.
Yeah. Not to mention, they can't even really lock him down anyway, because try to roar him and gets lotused off, or gets reflected,
or
you know, it gets blocked by the Lincolns, or yeah, you get purged, so good luck. Meanwhile, Sniper still sitting on very mid-game items. The 4 Protect 5 0 in on what really should be the GG Bush soon, already up by about 30k. They're going to force this shrine out. Limp can't even deal with that puck. Jumping in, fencing forward, the E-Blade Dagon combo officially online, and to go with that, they'll have to fail. They'll have additional backup to craft.
This must be incredibly frustrating to deal with as Alliance, but it's about time to get a taste of their own medicine, to be honest.
4 Protect 5 are really not the best base-breaking lineup, but Limp tasered again, forced on his heels. Slowly but surely, they blast away, they chip, they poke, they work the buildings down.
This Nether Ward keeps getting decrepified. These boars want to kill it so bad, but they can't.
Little zappy for Era. Alright, what are we looking at here?
A heart
4,600 health.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Alright, just take it easy, bro.
You can barely even see those HP separations.
Here comes it. Here comes the puck again, and this time Limp has to BKB. Razor stands on the front lines, actually taking some decent damage, but, well, I mean, as far as that goes, Pugna, he can just do it right
1k damage, no big deal. He's still got another 3k to work with.
Just life drain you whatever he sees.
He has it on autocast pretty much.
Why not?
Let's see if Limp once again gets lasered in the mouth. Yup.
Oh, this poor, unfortunate sniper constantly on the run. Etikaka is the back way. He didn't actually get the dig on off there. He's saving it for the kill steal. See you later. Pew pew. Take that, you wanker. Indeed, as 5 gets pushed towards the well, but he's not quite within. The epicenter revs up, and 5 just dives forward, tanking his way through it all. He's got the cheese in his back pocket if he needs it, and they want to go in. They say, we can heal him. We can create the ultimate monster, but 5 says, let's just take the racks, boys. Let's collect our victory here. The prize is theirs with the puck almost soloing down a Beastmaster and a single volley of spells. Now the cast comes through. It's going to bounce beautifully. Yules as the follow-up, even phase shifting his way apart from the goo. Etikaka stays absolutely in ultra swag mode this whole game. This has been an absolute tour de force. 7-3 and 15. Feels like it's 73 and 150 the way this man's played.
40k net worth advantage. Yeah, it definitely does feel like that.
Brutal. Checks of gaming from 5, and the rest of Fort Protect 5 looking to have some fun to round things out. That's Megas. That's basically game. Alliance, they might stick around a bit longer, but they are dropping another set and now starting to look like they might be in danger of not making it to the playoffs, as they will be in the negative. Fort Protect 5, a long climb left for them, but this is a step in the right direction as they'll commence the fountain farming, potentially.
And I can't even really say that this Pugna is like a cheese strat, because like sometimes, okay, you have nothing to lose if you're in this qualifier and you're on the lower end, you're like, whatever, let's just run something dumb. But this is an eminently legitimate strategy. Alliance tried running just the game prior, so they should have been well familiar with what a good, well-oiled machine can do when you've got a Pugna as the engine.
It's just not working for Alliance right now, but everything is going right for Mr. Slash Strike here. Still got the 8s available. The Crep online as well. Limp commits the whole BKB, and meanwhile, Era just feeding massive quantities of plus damage to 5. Easy plus 120 for him. They're going to chip bit by bit on this throne. Era standing as a very underwhelming armadillo. He's going to get epied, life drained, tasered. See you later. That bristleback is roasted freshly for Protect 5. We'll grab yet another kill. The throne about to crumble. Alliance drop another game, and Europe continues to be a back and forth slugfest.
But one that I can definitely say that in this game particularly, Fort Protect 5 looked consistently stronger than Alliance. And again, like on day 1, there was a lot of sloppy play coming out in the region as a whole, and so a lot of people wrote it off. But here,